For every pleasure a man has, it is to be considered a guilt. But every pleasure a woman has, it is to be considered the way. An avalanche of shame is unleashed upon a man who is enjoying himself. You are to feel guilty for enjoying life. According to the way, men have responsibilities and all their pleasures are nothing more than vices. In our desexualized world, not allowing males to have pleasure in being men or females to have pleasure in being women. The greatest pleasure you'll have is in being a man, acting like a man, and thinking like a man. I find great pleasure in lifting insane weights. Women think I am doing it just to build up my body so I can impress them, which is why they permit it. But if you watch sports or play video games, this is frowned on because, aside from giving you pleasure, it also cannot benefit women in any way. If a guy wants to go to Thailand to buy prostitutes, I don't care, as I have other things to do. But women will hate such a guy and try to shame him to no end. According to the way, men are not supposed to seek such pleasure even though women do. Men's pleasure is generally restricted to one thing: servicing women. Any pleasure that doesn't, such as watching sports, is granted to males who have serviced their woman. But such pleasure is temporary and must be re-earned. A man must earn the pleasure to watch a sports game. In the same way, if a man complains about the lack of sex from his wife, women will only say, "You need to serve her more," as if sex in a marriage was something to be earned like money. Much of this service is by being addicted to praise. Love parallels war. Just as in love, there are nice guys who appease, supplicate, and are addicted to praise, people in war do the same. The biggest sap in the realm of war and politics would be Jimmy Carter. Ever since the Nixon funeral, when all these people, including Democrats, were praising Nixon for certain policies, Carter's wife jammed her elbow into him and said, "But what about when you die? Do you want people to say you just hammered houses?" So this is why you have Jimmy Carter flying about the world, trying to make all these political agreements, and trying to have a presence everywhere. He is man-made insane by his addiction to praise. Many politicians throughout the world are so weak precisely because they are addicted to praise and care what everyone else thinks of them. Did Churchill care what people thought of him? Was Lincoln addicted to praise? I reject the assumption that life is painful, hard, and cruel. Life will be whatever you make it to be. The greatest barrier to pleasure and happiness in your life is your own mind. Think of the guys who had it hard with women. The biggest reason they had difficulty with women was that they expected it to be difficult. If you approach the situation that getting girls are easy, then it often becomes easy. Just do it. The same applies to wealth creation. Becoming rich is too hard, some say. Why say that? Why not say becoming rich is fun and simple? If you truly believe that, instead of a trial of pain, your pursuit will be full of fun. Philosophy is alcohol to the soul. When a person is wounded, in terms of dreams and destiny, he often picks up a bottle of philosophy and sucks it like a baby to his mother's breast. What good will philosophy do to me? Philosophy will not make me rich. Philosophy will not put clothes on my back and food in my stomach. Philosophy will not entertain family, friends, or girls. Philosophy does not give comfort to the dying or joy to the living. While some young men get drunk bodily from alcohol, other young men get drunk spiritually from philosophy. Feminists believe themselves philosophical. Their souls are so drunk that they have become toxic. A toxic soul just passes through nature, infecting, harming, and poisoning things around it. Feminists are not happy. How could they be? As an antidote, they only take up the bottle of philosophy some more. Glug, glug, glug. Instead of being flesh and blood, instead of finding joy in being female, they have so divorced their heads, their flesh, that they find nature itself to be toxic and barbaric. A man battling feminists with his own arms of philosophy is to drunken souls fighting over nothing. It resembles to drunks in a bar fighting over some figment in their mind. I don't want to spend life fighting over figments in the mind. Nothing would give me greater pleasure than to burn my library. I will be flesh and blood. I will enjoy life and the fruits of nature. But surely philosophy and the intellect hold some purpose. So what is it? There are two great teachers in life: experience and foresight. Experience teaches harshly, brutally, while foresight teaches gently, patiently, pleasingly. As for my master, I choose foresight. You would often hear that experience is everything. But must you experience many marriages in order to have a good one? Of course not. Men who do not see the potential legal noose that marriage and divorce can bring will be taught by experience if they do not learn their lessons from foresight. In the same way, young men, even nice guys, will learn their lessons from experience about women if they do not first learn them from foresight. The problem is that divorce, child custody, and all is too shattering to learn from experience. Let us embrace foresight on the matter. The point of philosophizing mind is to sip enough of the intellect to achieve foresight, but not to become a drunk by pouring entire bottles of the stuff into your head. Let us use philosophy for life rather than use life for philosophy. And once we obtain what we need to know, burn the books. The greatest revenge is living well. If you want to get underneath a politician's skin, don't give in to rebuttals or take them seriously. Rather, mock them and make fun of them.